Alrighty, guys, who's ready for another murder mystery in the series of the Knives Out franchise? Because I certainly am. I'm of the opinion that you could just keep making these movies for the rest of eternity, and I would be totally fine with that. I would be absolutely fine with that, because now, coming in Thanksgiving time / Christmas time of 2025, we have the third installment of the Knives Out franchise, Wake Up Dead Man, directed by Rian Johnson. We're going to talk about the new trailer, and we're going to talk about some of the first reviews that came out of the Toronto International Film Festival as well. All things that I think are incredibly positive and leaning towards what I will hope is going to be the best one of the bunch, which is going to be difficult to do because I love the first one so much, the first Knives Out. And while I like Glass Onion a little bit less, I do think it's quite entertaining and still has all the characteristics and charm of the first Knives Out film. This is all created by Rian Johnson, written and directed by Rian Johnson, who, you know, in the pop culture sphere has a pretty bad reputation just because of Star Wars The Last Jedi, a film that I maintain is flawed, but I think the parts that he does well are incredibly done well. And you can go check out my rewatch of Star Wars The Last Jedi. You can feel free to disagree, but that is just my personal opinion. Aside from Star Wars, though, the man is gifted. I mean, the way that he wrote Knives Out and directed it is phenomenal to me. It's just so well crafted. I grew up reading a lot of Arthur Conan Doyle and Sherlock Holmes, and it's incredible how he's able to take the whodunit and make it so compelling so that it's not obvious and formulaic in today's day and age. So, Wake Up Dead Man is a film that I've been very excited about. I actually read the reviews first before looking at the trailer. So I wanted to actually let's reverse it. Let's look at some of the first reviews and reactions to Wake Up Dead Man, and then we'll talk quickly about my thoughts on the trailer itself. All, spoiler alert, all very positive. So the film premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival. For those of you who don't know, it's going to be released in select theaters on November 26th, which is Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving, I should say, and then going to be hitting Netflix on December 12th. And we talked about this with K-pop Demon Hunters, but Netflix putting some of these movies in theaters, I think that one of their biggest successes was Glass Onion a few years ago. It's going to make them extra money. It's going to be good for them. So it seems like a no-brainer to me at this point. Let's read some of these first reviews. I'm looking at a Rotten Tomatoes article that has compiled some of the first reactions to Wake Up Dead Man. We're just going to go down the list here. Rian Johnson's Wake Up Dead Man from A Knives Out Mystery is another satisfying, impossible to predict yarn. What is it? Impossible to predict yarn. I guess that was the sentence. Featuring all the series' hallmarks. Johnson has seamlessly crafted another murder mystery with even more delicious twists and turns than the previous two installments, maybe even combined. That's crazy. The fact that there are going to be even more twists and turns than the previous ones combined, because the previous two are very hard to predict as well. Johnson's third film in the series is also the one that's most full of life. It's also the most emotional. That's really good to hear. Wake Up Dead Man is twistier, darker, and more emotional. Again, there that is, than the previous two installments. So those are a lot of comments comparing it to the first film. A lot of people saying it ranks as the best in the trilogy, which is very, very exciting. And a lot of other comments saying it has a lot of really interesting concepts in there as well. And the setting of it being in a church is a very interesting setting. And let's see here. They actually do something interesting on this Rotten Tomatoes article. They categorize some of the comments based on questions. So this one says, is there more to the movie than just another fun mystery? And the people here say, Wake Up Dead Man addresses our current political climate in a fairly damning way. That's interesting. Okay. Johnson has subtly or not so subtly included timely political themes in all the Knives Out films. And that's true, by the way. There's a lot of talk about immigration. Again, this is not a political channel, but it's just pointing out the things that are political in media. There are some themes about immigration and immigrants in the first Knives Out film. And the second one is about tech billionaires. So again, very timely, and we'll see how he handles it in the third film. But this person says, but these tangents seem somewhat more personal this time around. So again, very, very positive first reactions from Tiff for Wake Up Dead Man. So then we get our first trailer, or not our first trailer, we got a little bit of a teaser, but our first really full-length trailer. And it looks awesome. I think it just looks fantastic, because what do you want from a Knives Out murder mystery? You want the whodunit aspect. Well, there's a murder. Okay. It's a priest or a pastor who dies suddenly, and he locks himself in a box apparently, and he shows up dead. The cast looks absolutely phenomenal. Kerry Washington, Jeremy Renner, so glad to see him back on the big screen. Josh O'Connor, Josh Brolin, and of course Daniel Craig himself, along with so many others, Mila Kunis, and just it's a great cast. He assembles great casts for these movies, which again, this is. Make these movies for as long as you want, Rian Johnson, because these are awesome movies. So the cast looks great. I love the part at the end where he's like, "Who wants to go first for the questioning?" Harkening back to that scene. Really, really great scene in Knives Out where they're all the different people are being questioned individually. That's great as well. The setting and the atmosphere, based on again, a lot of people said these things in the reviews, but the atmosphere and just the darker nature of the more religious aspects. It's not. I don't think Knives Out movies are ever going to go supernatural. But what you can do and what you can really play with is that like Sherlock Holmes, right? For example, if you guys have read any of those books or even seen the show, like there are a lot of things in there that seem supernatural, and that's something that murder mystery authors have a lot of fun with, is that playing with the idea of could there be something supernatural about it, and then revealing that there are very real explanations for what's going on. I'm sure that this film is going to deal with those things as well. So I think it has the fun, the excitement, the whimsy as well, the great cast. Benoit Blanc is back. Daniel Craig, please just keep playing this character forever. Just keep making these films every few years, and I'll be super happy. Guys, I'm excited. I'm super excited. I am really hoping Thanksgiving is going to usually be is going to be family time. So we'll see if we can go out and see Wake Up Dead Man. But if I can, I'm going to be super excited to see it. Cannot wait for it. And then we'll talk about it either in late November or early December. So guys, what do you think about this new trailer for Wake Up Dead Man? And what do you think about some of the first reviews and reactions? Let me know in the comments down below.